Sherman tank right now.
The iconic Sherman tank is here, ladies and gentlemen. It was the cornerstone of the U.S. Armed Forces, showing its military might in World War II. It became one of the most influential tank designs of the 20th century. The M4 tank was nicknamed the Sherman tank after Civil War General William Tecumseh Sherman. Actually, it was named by the British. With almost 50,000 produced during World War II, the Sherman tank was in active service until 1957. In World War II, the M16 half-track was a force to be reckoned with. It was a self-propelled anti-aircraft weapon with speed, firepower, and grit. Nicknamed the meat chopper, its quad 50 caliber mount could unleash 2,300 rounds a minute. Quite devastating. It served through Korea, Vietnam, and beyond, and remains in use in U.S. allies to this day. The M16 half-track brings the fight wherever it rolls. The U.S. Army Transportation Corps motto states, "Nothing happens until something moves." That was never more true than with this. Look at this, the 2.5-ton Chevrolet Deuce and a Half. 10,000 pounds of cargo and was the backbone of the Red Ball Express that kept the Allies supplied after D-Day in World War II. The Korean War, often referred to as the Forgotten War, began on June 25, 1950, with the North Korean Army's invasion of South Korea. A coalition of South Korea, the United States, and other United Nations members defeated the invasion and advanced into North Korea. The coalition fought and defeated 2 Chinese offensives in the spring of 1951. Armistice negotiations began shortly after that defeat in July of 1951 until the armistice was signed 2 years later in 1953. Combat consisted of small attacks, raids, and patrolling. During this war, the United States deployed approximately 6.8 million military forces to the Korean Peninsula. Special thanks to our sponsor, Coinbase. The M151 kept rolling along as the lightweight, high-mobility general-purpose vehicle replacing the famed World War II Jeep back in 1961. Officially named the Military Utility Tactical Truck, or MUT, most servicemen generally referred to it as a Jeep. The vehicle spanned more than 40 years in 4 manufacturers and were everywhere that the Army was deployed. Another rolled by earlier, and at 2.5 tons, this Deuce and a Half, the M35A2 classic military transport truck, was a mainstay of the U.S. Army for decades, particularly during the Vietnam War and Operation Iraqi Freedom. The Deuce and a Half proved its value moving cargo, supplies, and soldiers. Its capabilities include up to 5,000 pounds off-road and 10,000 pounds on-road, making it ideal for moving just about anything. In the jungles of Vietnam, the U.S. Army faced a new kind of war. Helicopters became the new workhorses of battle, delivering troops, firepower, and supplies into some of the most unforgiving terrain on Earth. This is the U.S. Army in Vietnam, the era of air mobility, fierce firefights, and unwavering brotherhood. And over the music marching through, the roar of these legendary Army helicopters takes to the air. Flying overhead right now, they help define the Vietnam War. That staccato beat of the rotor blades was a welcome sound to many troops mired in combat. From transport and medevac to close air support and reconnaissance, they brought the fight to the front and pulled the wounded to safety. The OH-6 Cayuse scouted the terrain with unmatched agility. The AH-1 Cobra, also nicknamed the Snake, brought serious firepower. Its slim design, as you can see here, helped it survive and thrive in hostile environments to protect soldiers below. And the icon of the era, the UH-1 Huey, the first turbine-powered helicopter in service with the U.S. military. There was nothing the Huey couldn't do. General support, air assault, cargo transport, medic evacuation, and ground attack missions. The Cayuse, Cobra, and Huey, ladies and gentlemen, three iconic Army symbols in the sky. The 1st Cavalry Division Band, based out of Fort Cavazos, Texas, has played a vital role in U.S. military history. Since its origins back in 1855 as the band of the 2nd Cavalry, it has supported operations from the Civil War to Desert Storm. Over time, it's evolved into a powerful force using music to strengthen bonds between soldiers and engage with communities. From World War II in Korea to the Vietnam War in Bosnia, the 1st Teen Band has enhanced morale and upheld the division's enduring legacy. Today, the band continues its mission using music to shape perceptions, foster trust, and promote national Army and division interests. Standing ready to serve, it remains an enduring symbol of the 1st Cavalry Division's legacy and commitment to duty. The band performs Hit the Leather and Ride, a march composed by Captain Robert Meredith Wilson. This piece reflects the cavalry's transition from horses to mechanized warfare, capturing the speed, the resilience, and the tradition of the division. From Fort Cavazos, Texas, everybody, the 1st Cavalry Division Band. The U.S. Army deployed large numbers of troops in support of the Vietnam War. The first contingent of U.S. Army advisors arrived in Vietnam in the late 1950s, and that quickly grew to a small team of around 100 soldiers, which then expanded to more than 600 over the next decade. As the war intensified, troops' numbers quickly grew as the war between the South Vietnamese government and the communist insurgents supported by North Vietnam intensified. By January 1969, more than 364,200 soldiers organized around 7 divisions and 20 separate combat brigades. The United States began withdrawing its forces in July of 1969, and the last Army combat unit left South Vietnam in August of '71. The last U.S. combat soldier came home March 1973, while a small number of non-combat personnel remained until April 1975. Representing the Vietnam War era is the 101st Airborne Division based out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. The unit is wearing replica Vietnam War uniforms signifying the soldiers who served our nation during this time. Blistering heat, thick humidity, and unforgiving terrain demanded uniform innovation, and the Army, they delivered. New lightweight uniforms were constructed to move with the soldier. The M16 replaced the M1 Garand, calling for redesigned ammo gear and faster reloads in combat. Body armor got smarter, jackets and trousers got lighter, and field equipment was reimagined to meet the mission head-on. Gone were the heavy Mickey Mouse boots, replaced by canvas tropical combat boots that offered better grip, faster drying, and all-day endurance. Special thanks to our sponsor, Oracle. When Saddam Hussein's Iraq invaded Kuwait in August 1990, the U.S. Army deployed to Saudi Arabia to deter further Iraqi aggression in the region for what was known as Operation Desert Shield. By the fall, more than 750,000 troops comprising U.S. service members and coalition partners from more than 30 countries had assembled in the Saudi Arabian desert. In mid-January 1991, the U.S.-led coalition began Operation Desert Storm, which kicked off with an intensive air campaign designed to knock out key Iraqi infrastructure and weaken Iraqi forces. The ground offensive was launched in early 1991, where military forces overwhelmingly destroyed enemy tanks and vehicles. After only 100 hours of ground combat, coalition troops liberated Kuwait, and the Gulf War ended with Iraq's surrender. From Fort Riley, Kansas, this is the 1st Infantry Division, one of the Army's most storied divisions. Nicknamed the Big Red One because of the distinctive red on their unit patch, as the oldest continuously serving division in the U.S. Army, the unit has participated in every major operation since World War I, living up to its motto, no mission too difficult, no sacrifice too great, duty first. The 1st Infantry Division was originally established as the 1st Expeditionary Division in 1917 and spearheaded the American Expeditionary Forces in France during World War I. In World War II, the Fighting First stormed Omaha Beach on D-Day and liberated Nazi concentration camps. The highly decorated unit has had 37 members of the Big Red One awarded the Medal of Honor. In Washington, D.C., the 1st Division Monument stands in President's Park, memorializing those who died while serving in the 1st Infantry Division. Ladies and gentlemen, they are the Big Red One, the 1st Infantry Division. More military rolling stock. During Operation Desert Storm, the M2 Bradley fighting vehicle proved its value on the battlefield. It is fast, it is tough, and it is lethal. Named for General Omar Bradley, a leader from West Point's famed class of 1916, the Bradley was built to carry troops into combat with protection and power. Armed with a 25mm chain-driven cannon and twin-tube launched optically tacked wire-guided missiles, it played a critical role in clearing the way during the ground assault into Iraq. While the Paladin looks and sounds like a tank, it is technically a self-propelled howitzer and was first introduced back in the 1960s. Over the years, it's been upgraded to perform in versatile battlefields from Vietnam to the Soviet Union to Iraq. In the Gulf War, no division hit harder or moved faster than the 1st Armored. The 1st Armored Division, nicknamed Old Ironsides, is the oldest, most recognizable armored division in the United States Army. As part of the buildup for World War II, cavalry and reconnaissance units were brought together to form the 1st Armored Division in 1940. In the Gulf War, no division hit harder or moved faster than the 1st Armored. Old Ironsides really led the way. During Desert Storm, they engaged in some of the largest tank battles in Army history that were decisive victories, shattering enemy formations. Based in Fort Bliss, Texas, America's Tank Division is currently supporting missions in 20 countries across 5 continents. From World War II to today, Old Ironsides remains battle-proven and always ready. First used in Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm, the M119 howitzer brought precision firepower to the front lines. Lighter and more mobile than larger artillery, it was built for the infantry brigade, able to fire high into the air or directly at the target depending on the mission. Whether used in battery formation or as a standalone support weapon, the M119 delivered reliable, responsible fire when it mattered most. Still in service today, including on the front lines in Ukraine, it remains a trusted part of the Army's arsenal. Special thanks to our sponsor, UFC. On September 11, 2001, terrorists destroyed the World Trade Center in New York City and struck the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. using commercial airliners. In response, the U.S. launched the global war on terrorism. The U.S. would stop potential threats around the world and take the fight to terrorist groups and the nations that back them. The Army immediately deployed forces to Afghanistan to destroy Osama bin Laden's al-Qaeda terrorist organization and depose his sponsors, the ruling Taliban. The 2003 President Bush expanded the war to Iraq. Soldiers and other armed services overthrew Iraq's dictator Saddam Hussein. The fight to stabilize Iraq and prevent terrorist groups from overthrowing its new government continues to this day. The campaign in Afghanistan lasted until 2021 when U.S. forces withdrew and the Taliban returned to power. Over the course of the two-decade conflict, over 2 million servicemen and women, less than 1% of the American population, deployed in support of the global war on terrorism. Most of those who served were members of the United States Army. The global war on terrorism saw the introduction of a range of new technologies on the battlefield. The 8-wheeled Stryker Armored Combat Vehicle is the first new military vehicle to enter service in the U.S. Army since the Abrams tank back in the 1980s. The vehicle was developed to fill a gap in the Army's inventory between a lighter infantry and heavy armored unit. The Stryker Armored Combat Vehicle enables the team to maneuver in close and urban terrain, plus provide protection in open terrain and transport infantry quickly to critical battlefield positions. The first Stryker vehicles were fielded back in 2002 with the 1st Stryker Brigade combat team deploying to Iraq in 2003. U.S. Army Rangers, predating the Revolutionary War, fought in the War of 1812 as part of the regular Army and patrolled the frontier from Ohio to western Illinois on horseback and by boat, with the likes of Daniel Boone and Abraham Lincoln in their ranks. After the 9/11 terrorist attacks, Rangers were called upon to lead the way in the global war on terrorism. As part of the U.S. Army Special Operations Command, the 75th Ranger Regiment, based out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina, represents a lethal, agile, and flexible force capable of conducting many complex joint special operations missions. Today's Rangers Regiment is the Army's premier direct action raid force. It is always combat ready, mentally and physically tough, and prepared to fight our country's adversaries. The U.S. Army Special Operations Command is an elite group of individuals trained to lead and succeed in protecting the country from their threats. Composed of 5 units with unique specialties, Special Operations works in small tactical teams, taking on the most challenging and sensitive missions. Military legends to service members and civilians alike, they take on terrorists through quiet guerrilla war-style missions in foreign countries. Ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. Army's Special Forces. The Stryker Brigade Combat Team combines the capacity for rapid deployment with survivability and tactical mobility. Adaptability and continuous transformation to overcome our enemies is vital. Fighting an elusive enemy in distant places and at home requires new tools such as unmanned aerial vehicles for surveillance and the Blue Force Tracker to see real-time details of troop movements. The United States does not face the challenging international environment alone. Our network of allies and partners is an advantage that our adversaries can never hope to match. Over 80 nations have fought alongside the United States or assisted during the global war on terrorism. The 10th Mountain Division's climb to glory began with its establishment as the 10th Light Division in July 1943, the only one of its size in the U.S. military to receive specialized training for fighting in mountainous conditions. After periods spent inactive as a training division and as a standard infantry division, the unit returned to its roots in 1985 when it regained its Mountain Division designation. In the 1990s, the division participated in numerous humanitarian and peacekeeping operations. During the War on Terrorism, the 10th Mountain Division proved their mettle as light fighters through repeated deployments to Afghanistan and Iraq. Now, since 2002, the 10th Mountain Division, based out of Fort Drum, New York, has been the most deployed regular Army unit. Its combat brigades have seen over 20 deployments to both Iraq and Afghanistan in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom. To show America's military might, they have one purpose: to deter war and, if ordered, defeat the enemies of the United States of America. They are the 10th Mountain Division. Investments in cutting-edge systems, drone technology, and abilities strengthen the force, equipping soldiers with tools they need to protect the country and defend democracy. The Army has 8 Stryker Brigade combat teams, 6 in the active component and 2 in the National Guard. More than 2/3 of the 7,000 servicemen and women who sacrificed their lives fighting the global war on terrorism were part of one of the Army's 3 branches: active duty forces, the Army Reserve, and the Army National Guard. The Army is continuously transforming to deter aggression to ensure our adversaries cannot outrange or outpace us. This transformation is not just about adapting, it's about maintaining dominance, ensuring that America's Army remains unmatched in its speed, flexibility, and ability to support the nation's strategic priorities.
Some of those threats that
Special thanks.
at least looking at me, you know, I come from people is watching. This is your army, and lot of training that went into this, much like we approach training with safety and readiness in mind at all times. These are frames that took many hours to actually master, to ensure that, one, we don't damage equipment, and two, we safely maneuver them across.
More than an hour now into this parade marking the U.S. Army's 250th birthday. Still more to come, assuming the weather can hold. Army's 250th birthday. Still more to come, assuming the weather can hold off. We hope to see some more fun aircraft, and at the very least, we will see some more soldiers. Back with you shortly.
By securing ready, prompt, and sustained land dominance by Army forces across the full spectrum of the conflict as part of the Joint Force. The Army forces battle ready and nimble makes transportation for the U.S. Army a very vital element. Spread across the parade today, numerous fighting vehicles, some designed for very specific functions and others for flexibility, but they all must be maintained. With over 200,000 trucks alone, wheeled vehicle mechanisms ensure that the fleet of vehicles are ready, and these mechanics get the job done. This convoy starts with the M777, a lightweight howitzer. These lightweight howitzers may not look particularly lightweight, but are made from titanium. They are 7,000 pounds lighter than their predecessor, the old M198. Used by the Army since 2005, the M777 is currently being used in Ukraine. Weighing only 4,700 pounds, the M119 howitzer is smaller and is used by infantry brigades, particularly for air assault missions. It was first used in Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm in 1991 and is also seeing active use in Ukraine. The 7th Infantry Division, stationed at Joint Base Lewis McChord, has been seeing continuous combat action ever since activation in World War I. From Europe to the Aleutian Islands, Japan, Korea, Afghanistan, and the Pacific, the Bayonet Division boasts a proud history of answering the call of its motto, "Trust in me," with resolute dedication. Sent to deployments and conflicts around the globe since it was founded, the division returned to Fort Lewis in 1971, its first time on American soil since 1934. The 7th Division, originally called the Hourglass Division due to their patch design, gained the nickname Bayonet Division during their deployment to Korea in June of 1950. At Incheon Landing and during the liberation of Seoul, they were credited with plunging the bayonet into the heart of the enemy, with 13 members of the division receiving the Medal of Honor. The 7th enables and sustains the combat readiness of 2 Stryker Brigade combat teams and a Combat Aviation Brigade. With the American soldier, the cornerstone of everything the Army does, we are continuously transforming. Army careers span the spectrum from attorneys to astronauts and mechanics to engineers. The Army's greatest asset is our people, the finest men and women our great nation has to offer, with a myriad of talents that make us stronger. Aside from its people, the Army's next greatest asset is its technology and equipment. Coming up next, these vehicles offer a glimpse of what the Army employs for readiness and battle. The portable howitzers and the portable Abrams tank were used extensively in the Gulf War, along with Bradley tanks and the infantry squad vehicle. The ISB provides enhanced tactical mobility of an infantry brigade combat team. This allows commanders greater freedom of movement and action. The ISB provides the warfighter with increased flexibility to ensure infantry units maintain momentum to achieve mission success. When duty calls, U.S. Army soldiers don't just answer, they lead. From Fort Bragg, witness a powerful demonstration of strength, purpose, and the unmatched capability of today's Army.
The Army has made me see my potential, and I feel like it's molded me into a better person.
I grew up in a very patriotic household. My grandfather, he served in World War II, and his brother, my uncle, served in Vietnam. I can do this. If they can do this, I can do this.
When I was born, my dad was still serving in the military, and him coming home in his uniform, I'm like, yeah, I want to do that.
Ready for takeoff. My motivation, I think it follows in line, I think, with what my family's done is kind of a sense of duty to serve our country and give back since it's given us so much.
I'm a very, let's say timid person, but definitely helped me become a more confident person.
Working with a group and my peers, it really shows how much working with a team can strengthen you.
All right, ready to go? Ready to go. I derive a lot of purpose from serving others. I think serving something bigger than myself gets me out of bed every day. If you throw it up, you throw it up.
I definitely pushed myself further than I ever thought I could go.
I joined the military service because I want to deploy. That's my main goal, is deploy, deploy, deploy.
If we get the call, we have to go somewhere, we'll do what needs to be done. That's just the way we operate here.
This is one of the few jobs in the nation where we all take an oath to say, I'm willing to put my life on the line for you, and they're willing to put their life on the line for me.
This is what we train for. This is what I want to do. My team leaders and squad leaders, they know exactly what to do. Check equipment, check weapons, check ammo.
We're always ready to deploy within 18 hours and handle the mission at task. We jump so frequently so that our jump masters and the paratroopers are ready to deploy.
Outboard personnel, stand up!
I'm very passionate about being a jump master. The paratroopers, they see you and, you know, they believe in you. I love to instill that confidence with my passion into those paratroopers. It's a rush. It's great.
Drop them clear for personnel drop.
This week we honor 250 years of valor and glory and triumph by the greatest fighting force ever to walk the face of the earth, the United States Army. For 2.5 centuries, our soldiers have marched into the raging fires of battle and obliterated America's enemies.
I love the Army. It is a great place to set yourself up for success, to prepare yourself for the future.
God bless you, God bless our soldiers, and God bless the U.S. Army.
Joint Base Elmendorf, Richardson, Alaska is the home to America's Arctic Angels, who execute expeditionary operations worldwide conduct multi-domain operations in the Indo-Pacific Theater and the Arctic, and on order decisively defeat any adversary in extreme cold weather, mountainous and high-latitude environments through large-scale combat operations. The Angels are the Army's only Arctic division. Masters of Arctic warfare, the 11th serves worldwide in all climates. Established in November of 1942, the Angels of the 11th Airborne Division led the way in the Philippines during World War II and spearheaded an amphibious invasion of Luzon and distinguished themselves during the liberation of Manila. After periods spent inactive and stationed in Germany from 1963 to 65, the division operated as the 11th Air Assault Division with the mission of testing and refining the Army's helicopter-centric air mobility doctrine. Activated once again in June of 2022, they remain dedicated to defending America's interests throughout the Arctic, in Alaska, and beyond. The 11th Airborne Division, America's Arctic Angels. Requiring ongoing maintenance in the field and on base because nothing happens until something moves, wheeled vehicle mechanics supervise and perform maintenance, repair, and recovery operations on vehicles that serve the Army in a variety of mission-critical roles. Included in the array of mobile artillery such as Paladins and the Abrams tank is the Joint Light Tactical Vehicle known as the JLTV. It's highly adaptable, providing protected and sustained mobility for personnel and payloads. The JLTV is known for its off-road capability while providing armor against small arms and improvised explosive devices. The JLTV right there.
I had 7. someone made him cry.
We just saw Vice President Vance looking like he's having a good time, and now a thumbs up from the Secretary of Defense as the Army parade rolls on down Constitution Avenue here in Washington. I'm Sagar Meghani. This is Tara Kopp. We have Command Sergeant Major Alex Prati joining us here as well. The weather has largely been better than people expected at this point. We have seen some delays in what we expected to be some aircraft flights, specifically a lot of helicopters that should have been in the air several minutes ago that we have yet to see. Still thunderstorms predicted here in Washington, still a flood threat, still a lightning threat, so it's unclear how all of that may play out, how it may affect President Trump's remarks later, fireworks, concert. We still have a ways to go, but Sergeant Major, give us a sense of what we're seeing now as the president stands and salutes once again.
Well, I think we're finishing up the modern era right now. What we're hoping to see is potentially, we spoke briefly about the Night Stalkers and some of the aircraft and some of the things they're able to do. And as we finish up right now this parade, what we have at the very end is we have a lot of the service, the academies. We have VMI, we have the Citadel, we have the Aggies, Texas A&M. We have current soldiers going through AIT, and then most importantly, the future of our Army, which is prospective soldiers hoping to wear our nation's cloth here in the future. And that is what this is all about, and it's the future. We talked about the last 250 years, but there's so many more years ahead, and that is your Army. That's going to be the future of our Army, and I'm truly excited to see them be part of this incredible parade.
What is it that you, as a career soldier who's risen to the top of this field, wants kids, maybe young kids, maybe kids younger than 10, or maybe middle school or high school kids, what would you like them to walk away from either the mall, where they got to see this in person, or watching here or on TV or wherever? What do you hope this did to them in terms of how the Army is presented?
Well, first and foremost, it's still a sense of pride of being an American citizen and being proud of their Army, knowing that their Army for 250 years has been at the forefront of freedom, fighting for our values, fighting to protect the American public, and standing tall and ready to continue to do that into the future. And there is so much to do. Hopefully over the last hour, they're being able to see the different specialties that they can see. It's not just about being an infantryman or an armor. It's in aviation, it's in medicine. There's so many things available for them to do.
Sagar, in the weeks building up to this, I was talking to the Army a lot about what they hope to accomplish, both for the festival and the parade. And one of them said, we're really looking at that 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old kid who's going to see an Abrams tank, or who's going to see a Paladin, or who's going to see an Apache helicopter fly overhead, and put that idea in their head of this is the Army, this is what they could do with their lives. And 10 years later, that seed is still there, and maybe it starts a conversation about military service.
And one of the things I want to add, I don't want to be confused. We've talked about changes from the Revolutionary War, and we're all mesmerized by all these different platforms we're seeing. But at the end of the day, precision fire missiles or the next gen weapon, there's a soldier at the end that's going to make the decision to pull that trigger. And that is our most valuable asset, is the American soldier. And I'm so proud to have this opportunity to actually watch them walk and march in our nation's capital today.
We're going to see cadets, as you mentioned, both from Texas A&M, VMI, the Citadel. We're going to see new enlistees who are in basic training, and then we're going to see new recruits or soldiers re-enlisting. And those, as they go by that presidential reviewing stand, they will raise their right arms, and they will be sworn in by the commander-in-chief as they drive by. That has to be another thrill for some of these young soldiers or soon-to-be soldiers.
It's not every day you get sworn into service by the President of the United States.
Exactly. I remember early on in my days of career in the Pentagon being at an event somewhere on the mall, and General Dick Cody, who was then the Vice Chief of Staff, was there to swear in a group, and they didn't happen to, I was sitting in a row with them, they didn't happen to notice that he had come to the row and went to sit down, and a couple of them glanced up and just did this great double take and all shot up to salute. A couple of them knocked over their chairs, and I just remember General Cody said, "You all sit down. I'm just going to grab a seat. Don't mind me." And he went up and swore them in, and I remember thinking then, like, wow, you know, what a thrill for these 18-year-old kids that the number 2 officer in the Army just swore them in, which is pretty good. Except when you have the commander-in-chief getting to do it. Even better.
Absolutely.
You think about it now, we have an Air Force and a Marine Corps and a Navy and a Space Force, but the Army really started a lot of this stuff. The Army had the first submarine. It was a single-person submarine called the Turtle, and it only went submerged 3 times. It didn't do anything it was supposed to do. It was supposed to be able to attach bombs to ships, but it was an Army vessel. You know, the Army had the Army Air Corps, and it had the Army Air Forces, and it had the first fixed-wing aircraft in war. So even though you are now known more as a ground force with helicopters and combined air-ground, you've really kind of been all over the place.
We're spearheading a lot of the initiatives that we have right now, technologically. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's watch some more of this armor roll by.
Back.
just the physical challenges that make Ranger School so intense. The mental strain will break these soldiers down to their core.
If I have a come to God moment, I have to take my PC off with my patrol cap. And on the inside of that, my commander gave me a Ranger tab, the yellow and black one that you get during graduation. I pinned it to the inside of my PC.
Ranger School is not for the faint of heart, but for those who are up to the challenge, it is the ultimate proving ground.
They already didn't have enough beds for the people in our company. And our eyes reminded us that we don't have enough beds because there's not going to be this many people by tomorrow. Just a slight reminder of that. There's too many of you anyways, and not all of you are going to pass it.
Rangers, if you don't figure it out, you're about to get another casualty.
It's completely different than what people would think Ranger School is like, but you can't put that into words, so it's hard to tell somebody something that you have to experience for yourself.
They got a saying, it's called as the tab turns. So Ranger School is continuing to change and to develop, but at the end of the day, it is the same. Right? They're always going to put you in scenarios that is going to test your ability to actually make decisions on the ground.
As you go through Ranger School, it is a gut check. It's going to check you out. And what's going to get you through it is whether you have it or not. Thousands and thousands of soldiers train all their lives to come here, prepare themselves to come to Ranger School, and only a few hundred leave here every class with the tab. It's not for everyone.
I'm not going to leave until I get it, so just buckle down, stop complaining, and just get the job done.
Please welcome country music sensation and proud supporter of our troops, Warren Snyder. Sensation and proud supporter of our troops, Warren Snyder.
She knows I'm lonely. Rolls over when a wine's gone like a wicked on rain days. Laying on old memories and talking about what we used to be. She'd probably be the dead of me. The day my feet ain't sweet. She's my pretty little poison. My heart hanging tonight with a kiss on her lips, just like cyanide. take it all. I don't want none of y'all. I just want you. No, I just want you. My pretty little portion. My heartache in the night with a kiss on her lips just like cyanide. Yeah, she came with a warning, but I didn't mind. I'll go hell on it every time. She's my pretty little poison. My pretty little poison. She's my little poison. Thank you. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm nervous, but I would just like to say thank you so much for having me here tonight. I am just so fortunate to be here in front of y'all, and thank you guys so much for what you guys do. And honestly, happy birthday, y'all. Happy birthday. This next song was loved by y'all, so if you know the words, please sing along. This song's called Ride the Lightning, y'all. Mama always said I was born on the right side. Yes, she did. One foot in the flames and the other trying to walk the line. Can't say I never saw it coming. I could see the warning signs. Mama always said I was born on the right side. I guess Mama was right. 'Cause when the clock strikes midnight, gonna ride the lightning, feel the thunder, till the darkness pulls me under. Gonna fly on wings of fire, great and good Lord lifts me high. Singing, oh, when they call me on. Singing, oh, when they call me on. Gonna ride the lightning. I see you singing, my friend. There's a man in a black coat standing at a crossroads, with a pen in his hand and a long list of lost souls. They say he flips a coin, fools let the fools go. There's a man in a black coat standing at a crossroads. I hope he lets me pass by. When I close my eyes, gonna ride the lightning, feel the thunder, till the darkness pulls me under. Gonna fly on wings of fire, great and good Lord lifts me high. Singing, oh, when they call me on. Singing, to the Army. Happy birthday to our President, Donald Trump. Amen, y'all. God bless America, baby!
This week we honor 250 years of valor and glory and triumph by the greatest fighting force ever to walk the face of the earth, the United States Army. Each of you on the field today is among the most talented members of your generation. You could have done anything you wanted. You could have gone anywhere. You could have gone to any school.
Matt's incredible heroism helped ensure that not a single American soldier died in the Battle of Shock Valley.
2.5 centuries, our soldiers have marched into the raging fires of battle and obliterated America's enemies. The dignity, daring, and devotion of the American military is unrivaled anywhere in history and any place in the world. Our soldiers do not rest until they win. Our citizens know that we're standing guard, killing terrorists, crushing our enemies, and keeping America safe. But we're also keeping it strong and proud and mighty and free. This week we remember that we only have a country because we first had an army. As President of the United States, let me express my undying gratitude for every soldier here today, for every veteran and their incredible families, and for every patriot who has worn the uniform. Our debt to you is infinite and everlasting. With the grace of God, America will always prevail.
Well, let me say to the thousands of Americans who traveled from distant towns and across state lines to be here today, this is your national capital. Welcome to Washington, D.C. We are thrilled to have you. This evening, as we celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States Army, the oldest branch of the greatest fighting force ever known to man, I want to say to all the soldiers all across our nation's capital and all across the world, happy birthday, soldiers. And I want to say you represent an unbroken line of greatness, of excellence, and one of the things the President of the United States has told his entire administration, from the Vice President on down, is that we must remember that the young men and women who put on the uniform and serve this nation are our most precious resource. We must honor them, we must respect them, we must fight for them, and that's exactly what the Trump administration aims to do every single day. And so to our soldiers, we're so proud of you, and let me tell you that the way that we honor and respect you is, number one, we never ask you to go to war unless you absolutely have to, and number two, when we do ask you to go to war, we give you the weapons and the support needed to kick the hell out of the enemy and come back home safely. Now I know I'm the last thing standing between June the 14th is, of course, the birthday of the Army. It is, of course, the birthday of the President of the United States. And happy birthday, Mr. President. But I would get in trouble if I didn't my wedding anniversary, and so to my lovely wife, I love you, honey, happy anniversary, and thank you for everything that you do for our country. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce the 45th and 47th Commander-in-Chief of the United States Military, President Donald J. Trump.
And bravest fighting force ever to stride the face of this earth, the United States Army. Thank you very much. Because the Army keeps us free, you make us strong, and tonight you have made all Americans very proud. They're watching from all over the world, actually. Made them all very proud. Every other country celebrates their victories. It's about time America did too. That's what we're doing tonight. And watching this magnificent display, our souls are filled with warriors from all the way back to the very beginning. So to every veteran across our land, and right here in our nation's capital, including 6 recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor. We love you, we honor you, and we salute your noble service to our flag and to our country. As we celebrate tonight, we also think of the hundreds of thousands of Army soldiers who have made the supreme sacrifice for our nation and selflessly laid down their lives in every war, from the Revolution to the War on Terror. To the Gold Star families with us today, the courage of your heroes is the bedrock on which our entire nation stands. We thank you. Yes, we thank you. Today we commemorate an event that did not just change American history, but changed the history of the entire world. With the creation of America's Army on June 14th, 1775, liberty got its shield and the freedom got its sword. Those first Army patriots in the American Revolution fought against a fearsome enemy and impossible odds, but they were armed with a righteous cause. They were led by an indomitable commander, a truly great General George Washington, and they were united by an eternal creed. It is victory or death. Over the past 2.5 centuries, our warriors fields battle around the globe. With the frostbitten feet and bloody fist, they have marched into the flames and fury of combat, charged up mountains, stormed beaches, waded through torrents of gunfire, and leapt into skies thick with smoke and shrapnel. The U.S. Army has driven bayonets into the heart of sinister empires, crushed the ambitions of beneath the threads of American tanks. It's done so well, it's done so much, so the devil himself flying into full retreat. Time and again, America's enemies have learned that if you threaten the American people, our soldiers are coming for you. Your defeat will be certain, your demise will be final, and your downfall will be total and complete. Never give up, never surrender, and never ever quit. They fight, 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 and they win, win, win. And that's why No institution in history has entered more names into the roster of American heroes than the U.S. Army. The Congressional Medal more than anyone or anything. There was Mad Anthony Wayne asked by George Washington to lead a daring midnight raid up the cliffs of Stony Point with unloaded muskets and only their bayonets to fight the redcoats. Mad Anthony replied, "Issue the order, sir, and I will storm into hell for you." Then there was the Civil War general, John Corse, shot in the face in combat. He fired off a message to his commander: "I am short a cheekbone and one ear, but I am able to whip the hell out of all of them." He stayed on the front lines, it seemed forever. In World War II, there was the great Creighton Abrams, besieged on all sides by the Nazis at the Battle of the Bulge. He boldly proclaimed, "They've got us surrounded again, the poor bastards." This is the fighting spirit and unyielding force of the U.S. Army. It has never changed, and it will never, ever change, because there is no earthly force more powerful than the brave heart of a U.S. infantryman or an Army Ranger, paratrooper, or Green Beret. They are the best, they are the finest. From Bunker Hill to San Juan Hill, from Gettysburg to Guadalcanal, from Yorktown to Shiloh, and from the trenches of the Argonne to the mountains of Afghanistan, the Army has forged a legacy of unmatched courage, untold sacrifice, and unequaled and undying glory. Our soldiers have poured out their blood by the bucketful on Missionary Ridge and Heartbreak Ridge, on the sands of Sicily, Normandy, and the Philippines, and on the dusty streets of Da Nang, Baghdad, and Fallujah. Thanks to their extraordinary service and devotion, 250 years later, America stands tall, America stands proud, and America stands free. We're the hottest country in the world right now. And our country will soon be greater and stronger than ever before. Down through history, we've been blessed beyond words by this valiant legion of Army warriors and patriots, heroes and legends. And tonight we affirm with unwavering certainty that in the years ahead and in every generation hence, whenever duty calls and whatever danger comes, the American soldier will be there. No matter the risk, no matter the obstacles, our warriors will charge into battle. They will plunge into the crucible of fire, and they will seize the crown of victory, because the United States of America will always have the grace of Almighty God and the iron will of the United States Army. Congratulations to everybody. We love our country. We've never done better. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless America. And now I'd like to ask the great First Lady to join me at the podium. Thank you very much, everybody.
My grandfather and my great-grandfather for your service, for your country, for your family. And I just want to say thank you from a generation that may not have known your name, but I get to live in the freedom because of it.
I want to thank all the U.S. service members, men and women, and especially the Army for their 250th birthday. Thank you very much.
My grandpa served in the Army in World War II as part of the 82nd Airborne. Thank you, Army, for everything that you do.
My brother Rob and my son Alec both served in the U.S. Army. We thank you for your courage, your sacrifices, and the burdens that you may now carry.
Thank you so much for doing what you do, putting your lives on the line for other men like me to live the life I live.
I just want to say happy birthday to the U.S. Army, congratulating them on 250 years. I want to give a big shout out to my Uncle Zadie, who served in the Army, and thank you for all you do.
I'm very thankful for the dedication and the hard work of the men and women in the U.S. Army.
Hi, American soldiers. Thank you for all you do. Love you.
Our freedom is not free, and we know that we are free because of you and your efforts.
Thank you to our Army, active duty, and veterans for protecting our rights and freedoms. Comes at an immeasurable cost.
Wish you the best. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Army. Thank you to everybody who's serving today and has served in the past.
Love you guys and girls. Thank you so much for everything you do.
A big thank you to the men and women that serve our country and everything you guys do for us.
Thank you, Army, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Army.
Happy birthday, Army.
Thank you,
Happy
Army, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
flashbang going off, but
both of my grandfathers they answered the challenges of their time, and it is my role in this uniform to answer and meet the challenges of my time.
This is your team. It's because your life depends on these people.
Save America! March on! 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 Save
I am an American soldier.
Soldier. It is one of the most honorable jobs I think that I have had in the military. I think about those soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife.
was a humbling experience putting on this uniform. I believe this uniform is a symbol of trust and it represents the highest ideals of our country. I believe this uniform is a symbol of trust and it represents the highest ideals of our country.
Thank you for joining us on this historic occasion. A special thanks to Scott's Miracle Grow and all of the terrific American 250 sponsors that helped make this monumental event happen. And to you, here in our audience, who are watching at home, to those in our U.S. military who are currently serving, have served, or being remembered, thank you for celebrating in the greatest country in the world. God bless you, and God bless America. Good night.
Sheriff's Department on the ground, the LAPD on the ground in full force there, and you heard the bullets, those rubber bullets, a tear gas being fired at protesters to get them to back up. What they want, law enforcement wants, is to get them out of downtown Los Angeles. They want to break this up, and you were looking at Mario Ramirez live pictures as deputies with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department continue to move towards the group of protesters that have now set up those barricades, and you see one there defiant. I don't know if that's a woman or a man. She or he is not getting, well, now they're getting down because they're being torn down as the Sheriff's Department moves those metal railings. Those were by the city earlier this week. We saw them being put up all over downtown Los Angeles. You can see those flashbangs, that tear gas, that pepper spray continually being shot. To make it uncomfortable for the protesters and to get them to leave the area. This is all happening simultaneously while another protest continues to march on 7th towards the Rampart area. So the splinter groups, the agitators, are in the center of downtown Los Angeles, while most protesters have moved away from the area, continuing with their message, and a message that Los Angeles County District Attorney DA Nathan Hoffman has been putting out repeatedly to protesters. He's been saying, I quote, "I will fiercely protect the First Amendment rights of anyone who wants to peacefully assemble and voice their positions. However, when protected speech crosses the line into illegal actions, I will equally fiercely enforce the criminal laws." Now, he posted this another protest on Broadway and 6th Street that they say, LAPD says there's a large group of demonstrators marching in the area of Broadway and 6th. There you're looking at downtown Los Angeles. Sky Fox heading to refuel after hours overhead. I want to see if we can possibly go to Mario Ramirez. I'd like to take Mario anytime, Mario, you're available. I'd like to see what you're seeing. You are on the ground. You were there when those bullets were being fired. What are you seeing, Mario?
Yeah, Gigi, well, a lot of the people who are on the street there, right in front of City Hall, they've now moved into Grand Park because that skirmish line with LAPD and LA County Sheriff's deputies firing rubber bullets and less lethal munitions, flashbangs. They've now moved right in front of City Hall. So it appears that we're surrounded right now. There's LAPD, another skirmish line behind us along Broadway, and this one here, again, Spring Street between Main and First. And sure, so what we can tell you, I'm sorry, yes, we have demonstrators here who are saying that people have been shot with rubber bullets, they've been injured, and unjustly so. Earlier, I was talking to someone from Inglewood. He said he was one of the first to be hit with a rubber bullet, and then another couple from Hawthorne. You may have heard one of the women who was complaining about the pain she was in. Well, she was shot as well twice by rubber bullets near that skirmish line at Main Street and Temple here. Now, as those crowds move towards First Street, the people in the street at times are going back in with those flags, many of them carrying Free Palestine signs and calling for free speech. And a lot of people here, once those flashbangs and that tear gas get deployed, they start running in the other direction, but they soon gather somewhere else. It's not like they're leaving the area completely. Now they've gathered here into Grand Park, right across from City Hall. We know that curfew goes into place in about less than 2 hours, actually. So at 8 o'clock, that curfew that was implemented earlier this week will be in place. And local law enforcement, as well as the city's mayor, Karen Bass, saying if you do not live or work in a 1-mile radius here downtown, you should not be in the area or you will be arrested. We saw dozens of people getting arrested, breaking curfew late into the week as these demonstrations have been continuing, Gigi.
That's right, and obviously we had that looting incident earlier this week too, the very unfortunate looters hitting so many businesses, big businesses like Adidas, like the Apple Store, and then you have the smaller mom and pop businesses at the Jewelry Mart, and just smaller businesses that cannot afford to take the hit. We spoke to one man, had no insurance, had all of his inventory stolen. We were inside the Jewelry Mart, and where display cases were smashed. We were told that display cases had nothing to steal, but they were just smashed to leave behind a trail of devastation. Now, joining me now live here in the studio, Christine Devine, for our continuing coverage of the chaos, the protest. Christine, you've been following this. Peaceful protest, tens of thousands of people taking to the streets of downtown Los Angeles, unfortunately deteriorating into a chaotic scene with a lot of agitators and what the LAPD is calling outsiders.
That is quite the picture that you have right there from Fox 11, where you have the LAPD officers and a heavy presence of the LA County Sheriff's Department. I just got back from a protest in Beverly Hills. On my way in, we got a call today in case things did change. I've been watching the protest like many of you on TV. If you haven't been at the
but I later learned that some agitators brought some type of saws or tools and were actually breaking concrete in downtown Los Angeles to be able to use those pieces of concrete to not only break windows, but to throw at law enforcement. That was actually happening on the streets of downtown LA.
Well, we heard of people that are professional organizers or agitators bringing in things like rocks or bricks, but on Fox 11, we witnessed somebody with a big mountain hammer literally trying to bust up the sidewalk and breaking apart chunks of the LA City sidewalk. So we witnessed that right here on our station live, so they may be bringing stuff in. Of this vehicle is available. So to speak, weapons, because that could kill somebody. South on Spring Street. Now we are watching right here people that are straggling this scene here. There is a dispersal order. Unfortunately, Gigi talked about being so peaceful today. It was a large city hall, and then you have this dispersal order. I think it probably comes with the territory. When you have a big group like this, there will be some of those people who are not there to peacefully protest, who are that angry about the issues, and they're going to be agitated for that fashion. And then you have the professional people or the true agitators who really are not necessarily there for the cause at all. They're going to disrupt any protest or any cause. And so it's a mix of people there. But right now, LAPD is saying time to go.
And we'd really like to hear from city leaders and law enforcement, Chief McDonald, Sheriff Luna, Mayor Karen Bass. Please know that Fox 11 is reaching out to all of them. We believe they are all huddled up and meeting as to what are the next steps that will be taken. We would like to hear from them. And yet their taking last post from Mayor Karen Bass was a video of the protest of tens of thousands of people. And she wrote, this is what a peaceful protest looks like. We refuse
peaceful protest.
City leaders may have refused the chaos, but the chaos continues.
Peaceful protest.
That was 4 hours
peaceful
ago.
Protesters.
Around 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Peaceful protesters.
Peaceful.
Peaceful protesters.
2,000 scheduled protests.
Peaceful protesters.
Earlier we were talking about
peaceful protest.
They posted
peaceful protest.
San Diego. This was an amazing
peaceful protest.
No arrests.
Peaceful protest.
And that's
peaceful protest.
Had hoped
peaceful
to see.
protest. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest.
Thousands of people.
Peaceful protest.
In a
peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest.
Later they said they
peaceful protest.
Obviously you don't just
peaceful protest.